Thinking about tuning your car for more power? Here's everything they don't tell you before possibly blowing your engine or voiding your factory warranty. Let's dive right into the top 5 pros and cons of tuning your car's ECU. First off on the list is increased horsepower and torque. A factory tune on your car's ECU is a bit on the conservative side. It makes it so that your car's engine is tuned for generally better gas mileage, everyday driving, and long-term reliability. The tune I went with, of course, if you see my last video, is an integrated engineering stage 1 tune. I'll put the dyno chart on the screen up now so that you can see it. It added about 51 horsepower to my car, along with 50 to 60 foot-pounds of torque. And on a car that only makes 200 to 220 horsepower stock, a 25% increase is quite a lot. Number 2 on the list is increased throttle response. When you install a tune, it actually ramps up the rate in which the signal is received from the pedal underneath your foot to the car's engine, which most cars sadly nowadays are electronic, even though they used to be drive-by-wire. And that allows for a much sportier, responsive feel when you're really getting on it. Yes, it might be a little more touchy and a little bit different, so you have to get used to that. But for the car enthusiast, it's something that you absolutely want out of your car. Number 3 is optimized performance for mods. So you can do a lot of engine modifications to your car, like an upgraded turbo, a cold air intake, you can upgrade the injectors, the fuel pump, an exhaust, etc. And generally when you add these things on a stock tune, you can only add so much horsepower to your engine. But when you retune your vehicle's engine, it allows for all of these things to work in unison to maximize the output, aka power gains, because of things like more air or a less restrictive exhaust, more fuel, or even specifically changing your car's ignition timing. Number 4 on the list, believe it or not, is better gas mileage. I'm actually on a quick little road trip for work right now, and I'm getting 28.6 miles per gallon on average, which is actually better than what they say it is from the factory. Yes, a tune optimizes the high-end performance for more power output, but it also changes your fuel mapping in the low end of the RPMs so you can maximize the amount of miles you get per gallon in your car. Number 5 on the list is customization. When you do choose to tune your car, you can tune it between multiple stages, like stage 1, stage 2, or even stage 3, but you do in fact have to use the right supporting mods for each of those stages. Generally for most cars, stage 1 and some stage 2 tunes are completely okay on factory internals with no engine modifications whatsoever. You can choose the octane that you generally put in your car the most, which when you tune your car, it almost always has to be premium fuel. Part of that customization is choosing what kind of acceleration curve you want through your RPM range. So you can either tune it for daily driving, street driving, track driving, or even straight line performance if you just want absolute raw power off the line. And you can even tune in things like 2-step launch control, anti-lag, all of these things which are great for the racetrack, of course, not for the road, even though we want it on the road. So that wraps it up for the top 5 pros of tuning your engine. If there's anything I missed, definitely let me know in the comments below. But now it's time for the top 5 cons of tuning your car's ECU and engine. The first one, which none of us like to hear, is that it immediately voids your factory warranty. Tuning your car actually changes the code in the computer, so when you bring it into a dealership, if you do have a factory warranty, they'll be able to see that you tuned it, and because a tune puts more stress on the engine, they will immediately void your warranty. And that is, of course, even if you tune it back to stock, which you can do with the integrated engineering tune that I have and many other tunes on the market. Con number 2 is increased engine wear. And honestly, in this category, it really is as simple as more power means more wear on your engine. Specifically for turboed vehicles and supercharged vehicles, a big part of adding horsepower to your engine is creating more boost pressure out of your turbo or supercharger, which means that all of your engine parts have a little bit more stress because they're being pushed a little bit harder, a little bit faster, and ultimately this takes away slightly from the lifespan of your engine. I will say, if you go with a stage 1 tune, generally that's playing it on the safer side because it's a more conservative tune, so it's really just taking your car one step above stock for a little bit more fun, which is great for daily driving. But stage 2 and stage 3, when you start adding in supporting mods, is really when you start putting more stress on your engine, and that's when you have to be careful so that you don't have problems down the road. Con number 3, which won't matter for some people, it is that you have to always use the highest premium fuel that you can get, whether that's 91 octane, 93 octane, or even in some cases E85, depending on the tune that you use. My tune specifically, which is the integrated engineering stage 1, as I said before, is a 93 octane tune, which means that really you should only stick to 93 octane. If you go below that, your engine really won't like it. And if you go with standard gas and a turboed vehicle, it's just terrible for the lifespan of your engine. Although using premium fuel doesn't seem bad for some, it will add up in the long term because it is generally more expensive. As you put thousands and thousands of miles on your car, those dollar signs will start to go up. Con number 4 is the potential for reliability issues. Of course, this kind of plays into the grand scheme of things, but if you don't properly tune your engine, a lot of things can go wrong. First off, if you're not supplying power to your car's ECU while you're in accessory mode and rewriting the ECU's code, you can actually fry the ECU of your car. This basically means that while the code is being added to your car, if the battery drops below a certain voltage and it can't keep reading the code from the tune, it will basically break the line of code, and then your car will be completely shot unless you buy a new ECU. Another issue is that if you don't have supporting modifications for the tune itself, depending on which one you go for, you can run into a lot of issues like misfires, overheating if you're creating a lot more power, and you don't have enough cold air cooling your car's internals. Or the last one, of course, being the worst of all, which none of us want, is straight up blowing your engine. You always want to do extensive research on whatever tune you're doing to make sure that it's either compatible with a completely stock engine, and if it's not, what supporting mods you have to add in order to maintain reliability in your engine. With my car specifically, it's not really a matter of supporting mods for the Stage 1 tune. For the Stage 2 tune, you do have to do a downpipe, but that's absolutely the only thing you need for Stage 2. And then Stage 3 from Integrated Engineering is an entire turbo upgrade, along with the cold air intake and the downpipe, which starts to get expensive. But without those supporting mods, your car can't necessarily breathe as well, aka forcing air out of the exhaust from the upgraded downpipe, which means that all of the back pressure in your engine is going to be building up a lot harder, and you'll either blow seals or, like I said before, blow your engine. The 5th con on the list, of course, is resale value. The problem with tuning your car and then reselling it, a lot of people find it to be a risky buy if they're buying a second-hand tuned car because they think it's been abused or they think it's been pushed to the limits or used as a race car. And so I will say selling a tuned car is a little bit on the harder side, and it will impact your resale value in a lot of cases. Something that's nice about the specific tune that I have for my car from Integrated Engineering is that you can retune it to stock, so that if you ever do sell it, you can sell it as the stock vehicle. It's really up to you whether or not you want to tell them that it was tuned or not, but regardless, reselling a tuned vehicle will never get you as much return on your value that your car has as a stock one, and I mean completely stock. If there's anything I missed for the pros and cons of tuning your car's engine, make sure to leave it in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, comments, concerns on tuning your car's engine. So far, I love my tune. I will say I've seen better gas mileage. Actually, if you can see that right now, I'm averaging 32 miles a gallon on my car, which is actually pretty insane. You can almost consider it a Prius at that point, but with the few thousand miles that I've put on my car with the car's ECU tune, I've had no issues whatsoever. I took the proper precautionary measures beforehand, like preventative maintenance, because on these cars, we do have problems like timing chain tensioners going early, timing chain stretching out, the PCV valve system failing early, along with other things like carbon buildup because they are direct injection engines. I hope this video is helpful and allows for you to make an educated decision on whether or not you want to tune your very own car. And I'll be back soon with many more videos as we modify my 2015 B8.5 Audi A4 to be a little street monster, which is what I want it to be, while maintaining reliability and being a good daily driver. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.